Hey guys, Ryan here, and in today's video, we're actually explaining how you guys as contractors should be closing at minimum 50%. So let's get right into it. So let's divide the two. There's leads and then there's qualified leads, okay? Now, if you have qualified homeowners in front of you, your closing rate is going to go up. As with leads, I'm talking just phone numbers and emails, it's not going to be as good. So with your normal leads, 20 to 30%. Now, the best type of leads you can always get is referral. We're talking qualified referrals from, if you did a project with Deborah, you know, she can actually want her bathroom doing now. For example, you did the kitchen, now she wants the bathroom doing, okay? So on those type of guys, when it comes to referral, you're probably closing at around 60 to 70%. I'd hope so, right? As with, you know, just leads from the park, like just phone numbers, emails and whatnot. I mean, I spoke to a lot of contractors in my time and it's around 20 to 30% at minimum. We're always talking minimum here. As with actual qualified leads, you should be getting 50% plus every single time. Every single time, 50% plus, because it all actually starts just from the foundation, from like the ground up, literal step one, okay? So you might be thinking like, Ryan, what do you actually mean by that? Like the foundation, what are you talking about, okay? Now, in terms of my guys right now, the calendar is looking something like this, right? Imagine if your calendar looks something like this. Now, let's actually break this down. Every single one of these blocks are a qualified homeowner, okay? An actual qualified homeowner. And if you have around 20 to 30 of these on the calendar, I believe on here there's like 20 something here, and then there's like 27 to 29 here. I'm not going to count them, but you know, in terms of these qualified homeowners, how are they actually qualified? Now, imagine every single month, you would know exactly when they want the project, what they actually want doing to their homes. We're talking bathroom models, kitchen remodels, decking, roofing, whatever it may be, okay? And on top of that, you know, knowing kind of what budget that qualified homeowner has. And most important, they actually opt into you. So I always use the example of like, if you went to the dentist, okay? If you went to the dentist, you're calling up the dentist and you are actually opting into them. You are calling them up, hey Jimmy, whatever dentist, right? And you're actually opting into them because you're putting yourself onto their calendar. So you're not going to miss that appointment. You know the next day you have an appointment at 9 a.m. at that dentist, okay? You may, you know, reschedule, it happens, okay? But at the end of the day, you're opting into them. That's an important kind of event, if you want to call it, in your life, and you're going to be at the house. It's the exact same with this. So when I go back to these calendars, every single one of these guys have opted in and booked onto your Google Calendar, okay? Now, you can kind of imagine how warm these guys are, because at the end of the day, they're filling out a full qualification form, answering all the qualifying questions, and actually booking onto your schedule, okay? So in terms of why you should be closing at 50+%, now, obviously, a lot of people are gonna see this and be like, oh, my close rate's at 10 to 20%. My close rate's at 80%. The average, I say when I get on calls, at around 60%, okay? And that's just with normal jobs, you know, if they go up to doors, hey, do you want a bathroom, or whatever it may be, right? You're looking around 50 to 60%. But when it comes to kind of the marketing side, when you actually get into that kind of posting online, you know, with the right tools and systems, it can either be 10 to 20% because people are doing it wrong, or you could literally be at 50, 60, 70%, right? And when your calendar's looking like this, when you have 20 plus, I mean, even if you had 10, let's say, right? 10 qualified estimates every single month, you're going to close, you know, 3 of them minimum. But when it comes to qualified homeowners, you should be at 50% minimum, right? 50% minimum, even if it was 10 qualified estimates, you know, that would be 5 jobs, right? 5 extra jobs in the calendar, right? In the pipeline, okay? So when it comes to something like this, imagine if you had a calendar like this, okay? It would probably change the business forever, right? I mean, this is my guy, Anthony, right now. He was doing around $10,000 to $15,000 every single month, taking home around $2,000. I mean, he was working another job, right? And then we came in 2 months down the line, we've got him to consistent 40, 50K months because it's the right systems, right? We have the right systems put into place. So the calendar is looking like this every single month. If you're meeting 20 people every single month who have opted into you, there's no way you don't win unless you genuinely go to the door and be like, hey, Deborah, you know, you want a kitchen remodel? And then quoting her on a price, and then if she doesn't like it, you leave. If you know how to sell, right, you're going to win. Now, I wanted to dive a bit onto this as well, because a lot of people right now in the contractor space don't really have the systems put into place to be able to get the close rate up. Because at the end of the day, you guys are relying on word of mouth referral. At the end of the day, word of mouth referral is the best way to get jobs. You do a job for Deborah and she actually, wants a kitchen done now, and you just did her bathroom and it was a great project. Perfect. Always the best way to get jobs, okay? But when it comes to that word of mouth referral, you're always hoping for Deborah wanting that project, if that makes sense. You did 5 projects last month, and you're just relying on them wanting the next project. It's inconsistent. I spoke to a guy the other day and he was doing around $30,000 a month. I said, okay, how many did we do 2 months ago? He said 15,000. Then he did 60,000. Now he's at 30,000. It's so inconsistent. Okay. When you have that many qualified homeowners on the calendar, it's like, you're going to hit this level. You're going to hit consistent 30K months, because a consistent 30K months is always going to be better than doing 15, then doing 50, then going back down to 20. So at the end of the day, you don't know what your paycheck looks like. You don't know if you can pay the crew. You don't know, all these things. Okay. So when it comes to these qualified homeowners, this is what you want on your calendar every single month, right? Imagine how we could scale, right? If you had that many projects on the calendar. And it's all about quality as well. I mean, the quantity can be there, but the quality actually has to be there also. So, I mean, the question to you guys is, if you actually had that many estimates on the calendar, you'd probably close an absolute minimum 3. Okay. And I'm talking on the lower side here. Okay. If you have 3 quality jobs every single month, and by the way, these jobs are not $800, $500 mini kind of McDonald's jobs, as I like to call it. Okay. Now these are going to be 5-figure jobs every single month. So again, my question to you is, if you had a calendar like that, how many would you actually be closing out of 10? Okay. If you can, on word of mouth referral, close at 80 to 90% on those kind of jobs that you don't really know what's going on, and that's around 30 to 40%. When it comes to a system like this, you should be closing at absolute, and I'm talking absolute minimum 50%. Okay. Now, most of my clients right now are closing around 70 to 80% because of the quality and the quantity, right? The quality of the appointments is good, and there's a lot of appointments there. So you could imagine you could close, an extra 5 to 10 jobs. Okay. Now, there's no kind of scale for you closing up to 15 jobs a month. It's just more about manpower at that point. Now, if you actually did say you would close over 3+ jobs every single month from 10 qualified estimates, the only thing stopping you from actually getting that extra 3 to 5 jobs, by the way, these are good quality jobs. I'm talking 5-figure jobs at minimum. There's no limit to see even 6, maybe even 7-figure jobs. Okay. Every single month consistently. That's the main thing. It's about closing jobs consistently and effectively. Okay. Is a valid system that actually brings you qualified homeowners. Okay. You could be the best salesperson in the world, but at the end of the day, if you don't have that system put into place where it's driving in a regular influx of qualified homeowners, you're going to get nowhere. And, you can stay on that kind of word of mouth referral. But like I told you guys before, it's 1 month you're doing $10,000. The next month you're doing $30,000. The next month you're back down to $11,000. Okay. So with a valid funnel system that actually brings qualified homeowners, the closing percentage actually does increase by around 20 to 30%. So like I told you guys before, again, if you're actually closing on like 30 to 40%, but when you're bringing in qualified homeowners who are actually interested in your business, opted into your business, it does actually increase by like 20% minimum. Now, if you actually want a valid system that actually works and drives those qualified homeowners, if you're a good salesperson, book a call down below with either me or Frazier on our website. I'll put the link on the screen also here if you want to check it out, but it will be the first link in the description. Okay, you can book a call with either me or Frazier. It'll be like 30 to an hour, and we can actually try and see if we can help you bring those qualified estimates in and if you qualify. But other than that, guys, have a great rest of your day, and make sure to check out our other videos that we're going to be posting every single week.